Hey guys, it's Tristanator here, and welcome to my thoughts on the iPad 10th generation. Apple have finally delivered the product that we've all been waiting for. For £499, which is the cheapest price that you can get the iPad Air design for, brand new, is you get a 10.9-inch liquid retina display. You have USB-C now. You have Touch ID in the power button instead of on the side. You get stereo speakers for the first time ever on the cheapest iPad line. You have Wi-Fi 6 support. You have a 12 megapixel rear-facing camera. You have a 12 megapixel camera with center stage in the landscape orientation. So compared to my iPad Pro here from 2016, the camera is in the landscape orientation. So you'll actively be looking at the camera during video calls and just video recordings. So in that sense, it's actually a very capable device with the A14 Bionic chip. For £499, this seems to be potentially one of the best buys in the iPad lineup ever. However, there is a very big problem. It's essentially, an iPad Air 4 that has been retooled to accept less accessories, that cost more, and that you can get the iPad Air 4, which is effectively the same device, for less money through Apple's certified shop area. You can see why I have problems accepting this device. The iPad Air 4 is a great device. My sister has it. And you can get it for £439, and it offers more choice of accessories for less. It costs about £279 for the new Magic Keyboard Folio, which is, to my knowledge, the only keyboard that you can use with the device besides Bluetooth options. The smart connector is on the side of the device, and as far as Apple Pencil support goes, it only supports, wait for this, the first generation Apple Pencil, which I have for this iPad Pro, the 9.7-inch iPad Pro, the first generation, even though that it's can only be charged via Lightning, Apple expects you to get a brand new dongle which uses the USB-C port that the iPad 10th generation now supports. The only reason why this iPad 10th generation even exists is to bring the all-new screen design that the Mini, Air and Pro models all have for a cheaper price, which looks good upon first inspection. On face value, it looks like an amazing deal, but the reason why it's been hampered, offering less accessories, and effectively a cheaper price, is simply to make all the other iPads look better. Because if they literally made it one for one the same as the iPad Air 5, there would be no reason to buy an iPad Air 5. Um, so effectively, you're buying a device that costs more than an iPad Air 4 refurbished, but refurbished literally just means that it's had its battery replaced. So it effectively works like new, but costs less. That's basically what refurbished means. Um, Aside from any minor cosmetic damage to the device itself, it's like small micro scratches. Refurbished is fine. um, I'm just I can't fully recommend the iPad 10 whatsoever. It's an overpriced rip-off. Especially when the iPad Air 4 exists, which came out in 2020, so not that long ago, relatively speaking. 2 years. It's a long time, but relatively speaking in tech terms, it's not that long ago. So here we are. The iPad 10th generation, which also released with the new iPad Pro with the M2 chip. All of the devices across the board, even the iPad 9th generation that Apple still sells, which I would argue is even now a better deal in terms of value compared to the iPad 10th generation by a landslide. All of the iPads across the lineup, alongside virtually every Apple product, from devices, accessories, etc., they've all experienced price hikes. So instead of getting the iPad 9th generation for £319, that's gone up another £50. The iPad Air has gone up another £100. Same with the iPad Pro. And the Mini, which used to be £499, has also increased to a higher price, as it's now been replaced by the 10th generation iPad. There is no reason for this iPad to exist. It's been intentionally hampered in order to make the other devices look good to purchase. Because for all intensive purposes, it's an iPad Air 5 with the specs of an iPad Air 4, basically a hybrid between the two, because it has the A14 processor and it has the 12 megapixel front-facing camera with center stage. But its feature set has been scaled back intentionally in order to make the higher end models look better. So here we are. It's a very strange time to buy an iPad new. Because all of the prices across the board have increased by at least £50 across all the models. And the higher end models cost £100 more on average, which is just not very good from the consumer perspective. So when you're actually thinking about getting a new iPad now, don't buy new. Literally go to Amazon, go to eBay, go to even the certified refurbished section on the Apple Store, and just buy an older model, because in value terms they offer so much more than the iPad 10th generation does. There is literally no reason to get this device. It's an absolute sham, and Apple need to be, you know, they need to be called out for this. Because at the end of the day, people are going to look at this device at face value, see that it has the design of the iPad Air. It's a one-for-one replica of the iPad Air, just with the A14 chip from the 2020 model instead of the M1 from the 2022 model. But it doesn't offer Apple Pencil Gen 2 support or any of the other accessories that the iPad Air supports that used to only be available on the iPad Pro range. So it's just mind-boggling. Like, from face value, it looks like a good deal because it's the iPad Air but cheaper. But from a objective point of view, it's an absolute rip-off. But here we are, rant over. Thank you for watching. If you guys would like to see more from the channel, be sure to subscribe if you felt that this video was informative or useful in any way. But yeah, don't buy the iPad 10th generation. It's an overpriced rip-off. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, Tristanator out.